it makes you better coach. It makes us better as a team. People get opportunities to step in and figure things out. We got a lot of players that need to develop. So as much as it hurts me to see number 13 sitting on the sideline, there are parts of it that help us. Um, Hopefully back very soon, like tonight, but not. It'd be nice. Yeah.
Doug, today marks a year since you stepped into the head coach chair in some capacity. You talked about not sleeping much over the last year, but how would you assess just how this year has gone and anything you're, I guess, most proud of how this year has gone?
Man, this it's been a year. Wow, my power was out yesterday, Christmas, so I finally got to sleep a little bit. It's been crazy, man, but a blessing in many ways. You learn a lot about yourself, about your team, um, and that's my biggest thing is I'm a lifelong learner. That's who I am. I enjoy that part of it. So just trying to continue to expand myself, um, be a better coach for these guys every day. But at the same time, try to push them, try to continue to expand. I mean, the year goes by super fast. I wouldn't have known that if you told me. It seemed like five. Yeah.
Hey Doug, they got Jason Kidd on the sidelines. Can you just tell me about Jason Kidd as a player and when you see former players as coaches, guys you battled against? What's that like for you?
Yeah, Mercurial. Everything with Jason, you could see him just calculating as he played. He always a play ahead, two plays ahead, um, a winner. Um, Always like to compete. Me personally, always like to compete against the best, and he was one of the best of that era. So always a big time challenge with him and Cove and Nash and all of the different players in that area that played on the perimeter. So the utmost respect for him as a player and as a coach to watch him do his thing. It's big time for these it ain't for everybody because you don't sleep. You're not nobody's friend. Everybody doesn't like you. You got to be cool with that. And but that's a greatness for him too, because to be great like he was as a player, you got to have a short-term memory and don't care about that stuff either, because people always got something to say. So, yeah, big kudos to him.
Hey, Doug. As Keegan or Keon, excuse me, as Keon's kind of gotten a renewed opportunity in recent weeks, what have you seen from him? What are the pluses, the minuses? What are you hoping to see from him in the short term going forward?
I just really want him to not think and catch and shoot the basketball. I want him to keep his guy in front of him with a level of physicality. Off ball, he's incredible with his hands and his um, ability to read the play and what's going on. But for me, straight line drives, physicality, trying to keep everything solid. Let's not gamble. Let's make sure that we keep it solid. And then a shot created must be taken. So when that ball comes to him, I don't want him to think about anything but shooting that basketball. Now, if the close out comes super fast and he has to put it on the floor, on to the next action. But play with a level of confidence. You're here because you're supposed to be here. So get at it.
Coach Christie, meet Clifford. And not necessarily every ball has to go in, but do you notice that, at least those perimeter shots, that they're right on target, but sometimes they just don't drop. But each and every time that they're right on target, you and your coaching staff kind of like work with them on that?
You've been in my computer, Rob? Actually, I got some film for him. I believe it was, so that must have been first half. I think it was first half. But he made a three down on their end, opposite side of the court, and the ball swung back to him. And the balance without the foot kicking and all of that, he went up before he went out on the shot. Like everything that I've talked to him about, that was encompassed right there. I just haven't had a chance to watch the video with him, but he's learning, man. There's certain things that you don't really want to be touching, like when the season's going on. You can talk to him, but this will be a summertime thing for him to really take on becoming a better shooter. Starts with balance, but to be honest with you, I don't really want him thinking like that. Everyone shoot the ball, shoot the ball. He's dynamic. He grabs rebounds. He brings them. He gets downhill. Play to your strength. And when the defense takes that away, now you add to your bag and you adapt, as opposed to trying to add all this stuff and you go away from who you are. Let's be who we are first. And from there, we can adapt.
Hi, Doug. Always nice to speak with you. You're in the back. Russell Westbrook today needs a couple of assists to pass Magic Johnson, move into seventh. Obviously we'll pass one of the consummate point guards in the NBA, Magic. He's on the cusp of 2,000 steals. He just needs one today. Obviously, longevity helps produce accomplishments, but I'm kind of curious of your perspective, number one, on everything that he's accomplished in his career. And what's it like for you coaching Westbrook at this stage of his career right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't have known none of that, first of all, if you didn't tell me that, because that voice is high level, bro. It's an honor to coach Russ. I've been a fan of his, like even when I was on radio and stuff, and people used to call in and just, because it's a polar thing, like you either love him or you hate him. And I was on the side of just loving everything he was about. First of all, the competitiveness is like off the charts. So for me, check that. I'd rather reel it back than try to ramp people up. And when it comes to Russ, like he's on that edge, and I'm totally with that. Those names that you mentioned, the things that he's been able to do, longevity, but 20 games and MVPs and like just the things that he's been able to accomplish. Just getting to know him and kid from the inner city and all these different things. We all, not all of us, but a lot of us have that inner city story of basketball saving us in many ways. But just watching how he goes about his business every day, that may be the one thing that you don't know anybody until you like get with him, and all of a sudden I'm like watching how he goes about his business. So it's no mistake that you about to pass Magic Johnson, which is out of control, by the way, because that's Magic. But and as somebody who thefts, I was a thief from time to time. 2,000 steals is a big number. So the utmost respect for how he goes about his business, and truly, truly an honor to coach great players. It's special because they make you better. Because if you say some bull, they're gonna call you on it. And like I always tell them, go ahead and let it go because I'm with it. I'm here to be as good as I can be at the same time. So yeah, it's a true honor. Yeah.
Coach, following up on Matt's question about this being your 1 year as in that seat, in that capacity, one of the things you initially said is you wanted to make teams adjust to you. And it's been difficult navigating the injuries, but the front line is playing really well. Now we're without Keegan. How big of a part of your game planning is that now, especially with the added offensive rebounding we see?
It's a tough one because there's one of the only teams that hasn't had their proposed lineup. In your mind, you have different things that you want to do and that you want to see, but then there's the reality of life, and there's the reality of the NBA, and there's the reality that we face. So we just, like, for me, probably the biggest learning part is the adaptation on a night-to-night basis of trying to, some years you don't really have injuries. And then the other years, it just happens, and there's nothing that you can do about it. You go in thinking that it's going to be like this, and got all these grand ideas and different things, and you're humbled to figure it out. And part of this is my path too. Is being the best coach that I can be. You need curveballs. Not everybody can hit a curveball. By the end of this, though, I'm gonna be able to hit one for sure. Yeah.
Cooper Flag is averaging 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists in the month of December. Just how much of him have you gotten to watch, and what are your initial impressions of him?
Good young player, aggressive, wants to get downhill. when you think about a kid that's 6'9", whatever he is, has the ability to put it on the floor, can shoot the basketball, he's only going to improve shooting. The IQ is going to continue to improve, especially being around Jason. Just incredible talent to the height or however high he goes, or whatever. You never really know that, but just watching him and watching the film and all that stuff, super impressed by the way he goes about his business. And when you're a rookie and you're in the scouting report like that, that says a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate y'all.